welcome to another edition of the Throwing Bagels Podcast. I feel like we've done a lot of these lately.
We have.
And they're all great, and we have another great one right here. Kevin Mooney here with you alongside Jason Hamo. Hey, Jason.
Hello there, Kevin. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you, sir?
I am doing fantastic.
How about those Mets?
How about them, right?
We will talk about them in due time, fellow Throwing Bagels podcast listener. Chris Douglas, by the way, still on assignment. He'll be back very shortly. I think he'll be back for our next podcast. So
I believe so.
we're looking forward to having him back in the fold, as it were. So joining us now, this was a fantastic event. People still talking about it, as a matter of fact, all over campus. But it's our genuine pleasure to welcome in the organizer of the inaugural TEDxSUNY Oswego conference, which was held this past Friday at Sheldon Hall. And it was also live streamed all over the internet. He's also an MBA student at SUNY Oswego, an undergrad alum as well. He's in charge of the podcasting department at WNYO. He does a lot of things. He's also a native of Malaysia. And as he says, he's the only Malaysian on campus. Please welcome in Eason Lee. Eason, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. And this has been a true honor because TEDxSUNY Oswego has been so huge, and I'm so happy to just talk all about it too.
And it was a sold out event. Congratulations on helping put all this together. It's really an amazing accomplishment. What were your overall thoughts on how everything went?
Yeah, it's not just sold out, right? It's within like 10 days, we managed to sell out 70 tickets. And
Nice.
yeah, the rest of it was slowly trickling in, but it's truly, truly amazing because we even have 20 VIPs, and the 20 VIPs included the president of SUNY Oswego, a lot of the VPs in the SUNY Oswego, and most importantly, Mayor of Oswego, Robert Corradino, Mayor of Fulton, James Rice. So really, it's such a beautiful event where every experts, every people who are passionate about TEDx, SUNY Oswego, or about TED Talks in general, just gathered together in one room, fill the room with full of inspiration. And I remember the event even before it started, right? Everyone was already excited and just talking nonstop and like smiling, and it's just incredible to see such a room that is just filled with inspiration.
Did you get any feedback from like Dr. Nwosu or anyone, any of the VPs that were any of the higher ups that were there?
Yeah, so let's just say first, within this past 3 days, I've been receiving non-stop messages, like from literally every single person on the campus or my friends that has been going on. But just talk about emails. I received nearly 20 emails just on a purpose, just to share a beautiful congratulations to our inaugural event. And including the president Wasu, he was singing, raving applauses. He was even saying like, because our team, it's all about progress. And because we believe that ideas change everything, ideas create progress, and ideas move people. And he emailed us saying that, hey, this has been so beautiful, and I just want to sing praises at you, and saying that I truly believe in your words and sharing ideas is the one thing that will change the world. And it truly is, because it's also my firm belief that, people come and go, but ideas is the one thing that live on through generations after generations, right? So that's why I'm so inspired by TEDx Talk, and now being part of it, it's just truly amazing because it's even my dream as well.
So where did this idea come from? Obviously, you're a fan of TEDx Talk, so obviously that's kind of and part of where it came from. But what made you decide to do this and to think of all of this to do on us at Oswego?
Yeah, yeah. This started 13 years ago when I was 15 in Malaysia. And now I'm almost 28 years old, making this happen. And when I was in Malaysia, the funny thing is I never dared to dream such a big thing. Because to me, I was a very quiet person, and this seems unreachable. This seems impossible. But I've always wanted to have this big dream, sharing big ideas on the biggest stage, because it truly is the biggest stage.
Hmm.
Since 2009, they have 8 billion views just on the TEDx YouTube channel. It is the biggest stage to share ideas, right? And so when I was 15, I had this big dream. I didn't dare to dream, and I came to SUNY Oswego. And that's when I'm uh really transformed myself and over here, like because of the community, because of the mentorship. Well, truth be told, because of some huge failures that almost hit me down to rock bottom, right? And but with all those things that happen, even the good, even the bad, and every single thing, that's when I'm like, hey, uh, I'm closer than ever to TEDx event. So I went to Oneonta and Rochester for their TEDx event over there. That's when I have this brave thought. Hey, how about making it happen in SUNY Oswego? Because I love SUNY Oswego and it's such a warm community here. It's such a helpful community here. Everyone is always ready to jump in and help, right? So why not? Why not? So I went ahead and applied for the application last year, September, uh, and I was rejected. Yeah, and that was devastating a little bit.
I can
And they
imagine.
didn't,
Yeah.
yeah, and they didn't tell me that I can apply again, right? But I didn't care. I edited the application, rectify the application, enhancing the TEDx talk idea, refine it with my friends, getting feedback from mentors, supervisors, just people, everyone that I admire or anyone that I can like hold on to. Even my partner, PT, my partner, because my partner has been reading the same thing, same application multiple and multiple times. Her name is Kayla Vokamotu. So give a special shout out to her. And yeah, so I made the application again. So in the end, I got accepted again. Not again. Then I got finally got accepted early this January. So that was when I'm like, wow, finally. And immediately after, I was happy, but I knew I'm short in time. So immediately after I get it, the most passionate people in their field and pull them together with one single objective, with a boiling passion to inspire. And that is the only requirement too, to be part of the team. If you have passion, then we can rely on you because we believe that's the one thing that is the most reliable. So yeah, eventually we got nearly 40 team members together.
When they basically rejected it the first time, did they give you feedback, or they were just like, "Nope, sorry, like unfortunately we can't accept your application at this time."
No, thankfully they did. Thankfully
Okay.
that, but it wasn't like a very precise or full feedback. It was just saying, "Hey, this is what went wrong. This is what went wrong," and then, "Hey, good luck and thank you for your interest." Yeah, but yeah, just went ahead. This is a lesson too about even if life tests you, you just got to keep moving, right? One step at a time. And imagine if I decided just with that single decision, if I decided not to make this happen, this inaugural event with nearly 40 team members, 13 departments that came together, three sponsors that gave us support, all this wouldn't happen. So yeah, it really is that one decision that sometimes will change our life. And it's
Yeah.
not dramatic. It's really just gotta take that one step.
It sounds like you didn't really need to talk anyone into joining, into being part of the staff behind this. It sounds like everyone was really eager to be a part of this, right?
Yeah, a little bit of that too.
Okay.
Because really we find the best people, right? And that's why we find the people who are the most passionate. And that's why this team is really the best in their field. And I uh, didn't care about their title. So I just find the best in the field. So it could be students, it could be faculty members, staff members, even leaders. Like the
Mm,
biggest position over here is the assistant dean of the School of Business and the director of MBA program. She is the speaking coach for all six of our speakers too. So yeah, really it's just amazing because the diversity in the team itself, it's
mm,
beautiful too, because we represent 7 different countries in just for nearly 40 team members. And like I mentioned, right, students, faculty members, staff members, and leaders. So really every different perspective that comes together to make this beautiful event happen because of one common belief.
mm.
Ideas move people.
And there were six main speakers at the TEDx conference. One of them is Oswego alum Henri Houston, which we've had on our podcast before. Excellent. Like I could not think of a better speaker to lead off your TEDx the TEDx conference. But across, and he spoke about the ingredients of purpose, about finding your purpose. But Dr. Wang, who's in the meteorology department at SUNY Oswego, spoke about lake effect snow, about chasing the snow, and there was several other topics that were discussed throughout the conference. What were some of the biggest themes? What were some of the biggest moments that people took away from listening to all these great speakers?
Yeah, because there's one theme that we
Mm,
chose, and it's progress. Because I think we find it fitting too in this higher education and specifically in SUNY Oswego, because everyone is always eager to be better, eager to
mhm,
grow, eager to progress. That's why we find progress. And that's why you see 6 topics it, that has one commonality, which is progress. But at the same time, it is so very diverse too. One speaker after another, like you mentioned. The first one is ingredients of purpose. The second one is lake effects. No, there's really no relation to that. But I also start off with the because I'm also the MC for the day, and I start off with a quote before we introduce the first speaker. I mentioned to them that this quote is really resonating with the event and one that truly impacted me. And the quote is, not every conversation will change your life, but any conversation can.
mm,
And that's exactly what represented the whole event too. Because I've been asking everyone, hey, what's your favorite talk? What's your favorite talk? Tell me, tell me about your experience. What's your favorite speaker? And the best part is everyone said someone different.
mm.
That is the best part of
Sure.
it all. It means that every speaker did amazing. Every
Hmm.
speaker had something to offer. And that's what ideas is all about, right?
Mhm,
You we Me as an organizer, I give them this red dot. I give them the biggest platform in the whole world to spread ideas. And it's just up to them. I'm giving them the power to contribute to the community. And they showed up. They really did. And that is why too, and by the end of the event, after all 6 speakers went by and I thank everyone, we received a standing ovation for a full minute.
Yeah.
I've
nice.
never experienced anything like it. And when I'm on the stage, I'm saying we are TEDxSUNY Oswego and we thank you all. And everyone gave us a standing ovation, right? But although on the stage, and it felt like, people are giving it to me, but I know everyone there is giving it to every single person that is in the TEDxSUNY Oswego event, even the audience,
Mm,
because they contributed to that. But why do I say that, right? Let me elaborate. Because ideas itself is nothing. Ideas doesn't do anything. But when ideas meet experts, meets people with power, people with influence, people with
Mm.
passion, now ideas could change everything. That is why everyone there was clapping for every single person that is in that room. That's why it's such a beautiful event. And that is why we have been receiving raving feedback and reviews from every single person. And they are thanking me, but hey, I kept telling them it's not me. The nearly 40 team members that make this happen. Because this thing happened within 2 months.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And you know what's the craziest part? They're all volunteers,
Right.
not getting a single coin. And why I chose them is also because I admire them, right? And I admire them because they are very heavily involved on the campus. And with so many things on their lab, I put something extra on their lab, and they took it really well. And they poured their heart, sweat, and soul into this. You know, that when I mentioned to you before the podcast that on the event day, you know, me and Meet Patel, the vice president of TEDxSUNY Oswego, we set up the event up until 6 a.m.
Mm.
But it's not just us. Before that, everyone stayed until 11 a.m. Some people stayed until 4 a.m. Some people stayed until 3 a.m. And even on the some days people would, you know, spend their weekend just to spend on the TEDxSUNY Oswego. Even some spring break. One of our technology education department, they're the ones who make our 3D logo sign and the iconic red dot. He spent his entire spring break to make that logo because of passion. And that's what passion does. You know, when opportunity meets passion, I think that's when magic happens here.
So you mentioned, you've been a fan for a long time of TED Talks, but when did you become interested in TED Talks?
Since I could have remember YouTube. Yeah, but when the true dream and the true idea that I really want to be on a TEDx stage was when I was 15, because there is countless talks that really impacted me. It's just something magical when a person is on the stage less than 18 minutes, share and pour their heart and soul into that 18 minutes to tell you everything that they know. And that's why, you know, we invite different specialty, invite different speakers that has different that are experts in different field. Like Dr. Wang. Dr.
Mm.
Wang, he is specialized in lake effects. No one could really describe how much passion he had and the knowledge he has in lake effects. No, it's just immense and bizarrely huge. And then that's where we get to learn from him. Or let's talk about Dr. Natalia Lewandowska. She used to work with NASA before, and she also worked in international different countries and study in different countries too. And now all after going all over the world, came back here and used 18 minutes to share her idea to us. It's a lifetime of lessons compressed in the less than 18 minutes to share it to us. And that's why I am so inspired by TEDx Talk and the red dot. The strength of it is just beautiful.
So do you think this will take place again next year, something similar?
Most definitely. Yeah, that's why even since day one, I'm a very business-minded person because of my passion and my other majors. And so since day one, we have planned succession and making it ensure a system that will run forever. You know, when we plan everything, we keep thinking about what about 5 years? What about in 10 years? What happens then? You know, does this system work just temporarily for convenience, or would it work even 5 years down the road, or a system that can be improved on. That's why everything that we do, it is well noted and documented for future reference. And yeah, we even have like a Gantt chart that is
Nice.
beautifully made, and everyone get to chime in about our progression because this is within 2 months, right?
Yeah.
So really keeping track of the timeline is important too.
So do you have who's going to take it over? Like, is someone like that's set to take it over next year? Like, is there like a succession plan to like be like you're the next person in line type thing, and then so on and so forth? Or and do you have to reapply with TEDx each time or no?
Yeah, that's the fun part too. And I thank you for asking me that because now I get to shout out really the best person that has been standing by me since day one, right? His name is Meet Patel. He's from India. He's an undergraduate student, and most importantly, his energy always lights up the room because he's just a happy person. You know, he'll walk in the room, he'll make sure you're as happy as he is. Isn't it great to have someone like that always with you? And so I can be pretty serious sometimes, you know, even you see, even in this conversation, we forgot about the joke, you know. We were just diving in straight in and all about TEDx, right? I'm such a driven person. So with him at my side, he just compliments me really well. And we work together super well. He's like a sponge that absorb everything, learn every single thing that he can. And then he also remember to squeeze it and let the lessons and the energy to pour out generously to every single person. And that's why he's also able to lead an entire team, even since the first rehearsal. So I am the organizer, but he's the vice president when we stand by together. And up until the rehearsal, I change my power and give it to him because he is able to lead. And because of him being able to lead, I get to focus on being an MC. And it's a huge part of being TEDxSUNY Oswego too. You know, you need to run the show, you need to ensure the speaker is introduced well, but I cannot focus what I focus if he doesn't do well. So it's from so he is leading nearly 40 team members in such chaos that is happening at the behind the scene. But no one knows. And that's how we know it was a successful event because no one knows any chaos, right? Yeah. So yeah, Meet Patel is gonna be great and he's gonna make it happen next year. And he is already planning what happens too after him. And he would need to make the application. And with my guidance and his idea, and along that TEDx is always leaving the TEDxSUNY Oswego reserve just for us before giving out to anyone. With all this reason, we are surely that this is gonna happen every year.
Yeah, I would think since you just had one, it might that would definitely count for you for at SUNY Oswego when Meet tries to reapply for this, right? That should make a difference, I would think, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Because they also would love to hear the feedback, right? So
Mhm.
after they send the feedback from the TEDx to the attendees, that's how they gauge. Do people actually like your event?
Yeah.
Yeah. And talking about feedback too, let me uh divert back to the question that you asked us just now about mm, how was the feedback, especially
Mhm.
from the VIPs. Uh, and let me tell you, the mayor of Caradino of Oswego, the next day, he even invited me on LinkedIn to connect, and he sent a beautiful message to the entire team to congratulate us and saying it is his best Friday well spent. And he's saying like this is truly one of the best SUNY Oswego event that he ever attended to. And it's such an honor from coming from him. And I thought that ends there, right? But in just casual conversation, I uh told Mayor Corradino that my parents will be visiting me when I graduate in May. And it's been 3 years since I see them. So I'm very
Wow.
excited and I was just sharing it to him. And you know what he's emailed me to say about? He say, what an inspiring event. He cannot wait to share to everyone. He cannot stop thinking about it. And he would like to invite me and my family to visit the City Hall.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
It's
so
awesome.
yeah, it's truly a huge honor. Truly, truly huge honor.
This event transcended campus. This not just campus, it's the city of Oswego. It's the city of Fulton, which is about 10 miles south. So it really has the potential to have a wide-ranging impact on this the Central New York community.
Yeah, and it's not just that because like you said too, it's bigger than me, bigger than the team, bigger than,
Mhm.
it's really about SUNY Oswego, Oswego, Fulton. And the best part is there's 6 speakers, and these 6 speakers will turn into 6 recordings, and they are posted on the TEDx YouTube channel.
Mhm.
And this means that we are joining the center of innovation with a community of more than 42 million followers. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And even the live stream itself, because as a university event, so the whole ballroom were filled with attendees, and because it sold out tickets. But other than that, the live stream was happening in the SUNY Oswego YouTube channel, right? And at one point, the views went up to like 200 or something, and then now it's like showing almost 1,000 views, total views that is seen from the live broadcast. And that is just a screen, right? Because in the library we also have a watch party over there in the Bahamas, because one of the speaker is from Bahamas, and his
Mhm.
family was watching it with 100 people. So
Wow.
yeah, the reach is bizarre, and it's not about just reaching people. It's about touching the world a little bit better. And why not touch a little bit more people than our own circle, right?
Of the 6 speakers, 5 of them had direct ties to SUNY Oswego in one way or another. They may have been an alum, they may have been a current student, they may have been a professor. But then the sixth was Dr. Robert Simmons III, who is the executive director of the National Grid Foundation. How did Dr. Simmons kind of land on your radar when it came to compiling the speakers list?
Yeah, so he actually also has a little relationship with SUNY Oswego before
Okay.
this, because
Ah,
he was invited to SUNY Oswego's commencement, I think on the year that I graduate too. So at the same time, he also represented the Micron technology. So he was
mhm.
our connection from Micron technology to SUNY Oswego. And as
Okay.
you know, Micron technology coming into the upstate New York is just huge for the entire economy and huge for SUNY Oswego. It's going to
Mhm.
uplift us indirectly or directly even. So really, it's a really huge tie, and that's how I got connected with him. But as I got connected with him, I realized he just went to National Grid, which is another gigantic company.
Hmm.
That is his huge contribution to the community too. So I'm like, hey, yeah, why not have a community leader, a diverse speaker with a different perspective than the rest of the speakers to share his ideas?
Mhm.
And his topic is amazing. His topic is about dreams, the compass to our true north. And we even the sequence of the speakers were very intentional. We put the first speaker as Henri Houston. Love Henri, by the way. I really just the way you shout out about him. I also want to give him the same exact shout out. His energy is just marvelous. It would captivate the whole audience. I will talk about Henri in just a second. But uh, Henri as a first speaker talk about ingredients of purpose.
Mhm.
And then as we close out, we talk about dreams, being dare to dream, being brave enough to dream, and to remind us that if we don't dream, people will dream for you. People will put you in a box that you don't belong to. So that's the importance of dream. And I've heard many people talk about leaving the room feeling energized. They told me It's a Saturday, but they're feeling so inspired. They want to rest, but their energy told them to, hey, get out there and inspire the world and touch the world. So yeah, it's just amazing to see such an event that's happening.
Mm,
And at the same time, yeah, hosting TEDx is about creating a space with an intentional action to inspire, right? And it is serving that purpose. So that is why I'm getting so excited. Truth be told, when you invited me in this podcast, it was before the event happened, right? So I was thinking more about, hey, yeah, why not? Let's talk more about TEDx. But I never realized too that I never get to process entirely about what happened with our TEDxSUNY Oswego. So now that when you talk to me, all my emotion is just flowing out and getting getting just like kind of screaming at your microphone. So my bad on that.
no, it's great.
Yeah, it is.
So I believe the second speaker, as you mentioned, was Dr. Wong, who's a meteorology professor at SUNY Oswego, and he discussed lake effect snow. And something that you mentioned um, when during the podcast was that you never understood what lake effect snow really was. You came from Malaysia. It's nice and warm there, like you said during the conference. And so, how did someone from Malaysia who grew up in this beautiful climate end up in Oswego and adapt to the weather, that lovely snowy weather that we have with the wind and everything that comes off Lake Ontario in upstate New York?
I absolutely love that question because I ask my I ask myself that sometimes still. Like, how did I actually end up here? Because just a fun fact, right? Oswego or United States is almost exactly opposite of the Earth for Malaysia.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, and we are exactly 12 hours difference
Okay.
because we are exactly opposite of
Hmm.
United States and Malaysia. And when we say opposite, that's about geography. But it's actually all about, culture, social setting, weather, and literally everything that you could ever imagine. It is directly opposite. And that's so crazy and profound and scary all at the same time. So let's talk about the weather first. For those of you out there, I'm sure you know how Oswego weather is like. And so let me tell you about Malaysia weather. The only season we have, it's summer.
Ah,
And the only other season than summer is the monsoon season. So it's not
mm,
so it's not even winter or whatever. And the whole year, all year round, it's about 80 degrees average. So when
Wow.
I came here, it's a crazy change. Uh,
yeah.
the first snow though, it was truly magical. I started tasting the snow, started taking the videos of myself, almost like I'm dancing. And just beautiful. And I remember I was late to my first class because it was my first snow ever. And I walk in and I was like smiling, and she's like, "Oh, what happened?" I'm like, "Oh, it's my first snow ever." It was truly amazing.
And then you got tired of it very quickly after that,
That happens the second snow. I'm like, "All right, please,
right?
I'm done." I'm done.
When you got stuck in 3 feet of snow, I'm sure you were like, "Oh, I'm not ready for this anymore."
Oh yeah, it's totally crazy, especially this year, 2025, because I've been here since 2019, and there's never a snow that is worse than this year since the past six
Mm,
years.
Mm.
It was so crazy. Like I thought I was in a fever dream because I remember there was 3 consecutive days where classes were canceled. Officers were telling you to work from home.
mm,
And even the Oswego town is putting a restriction on driving.
Mm.
Those of you who are driving in that crazy weather are getting fined. This feels like COVID all over again. Yeah, it was truly crazy. And kind of bringing back to this topic, that's why it's so fascinating to me too, because I never understood laid-back snow. Maybe even never wanted to, because it's such a terrible thing, to me at that time. And that's why this talk is so beautiful. It tells us about the benefit of it. And he even put a humor to it. He
Hmm.
made lake effect snow interesting. And to me, that's difficult. When there's a room full of people that is not scientific, a
Mm.
room of people with different background, and there might be people like me that knew nothing about science, have science as his most hated subject. You're learning about lake effect snow and was intrigued by it. That's just the beauty of the red dot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the TED Talk right there.
Mhm.
It's relating, it's making it relatable to just about taking that complex topic and making it relatable to just about everyone. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it truly is. And it shows as well on the fourth speaker, Dr. Natalia Lewandowska too.
Mhm.
And I know you wanted to talk about the third speaker, but let me jump the boat a little bit. Uh, Her topic is the timekeepers of the universe. What a beautiful topic. And she's telling us that when you go out in the universe, there's no GPS. So how do you calculate time? So she asked us a question.
Mm.
How do we measure time? Is it is it is it the clock that is measuring the most accurate time ever? She said no. She challenged us. No. The most accurate way to calculate time is pulsars. Stars. And there is a
Mm.
I can't explain this better than her. So if you are curious, wait for the TEDx talk that comes out on the TEDx YouTube channel. So yeah, it is just beautiful that,
Mm.
uh she get to I mean, we get to hear her talk with basically almost 30 years of experience, concise into the 18-minute talk,
Mm.
and made it fun for us too. Made it understandable for peers like me that don't understand any science. And yeah, she's also one of the favorite speakers that among the audience too, because
Mm.
the way she talk about universe is just fascinating, right? Especially her being fascinated with cosmos since the age of 5.
So how did you wind up? So, as growing up in Malaysia, how did you wind up picking Oswego for college? From an almost infinite number of colleges that are here in the United States. What made you settle on Oswego?
Yeah, I actually stumbled into SUNY Morrisville first,
Okay.
and it is colder than Oswego, if you can believe it. And more snow, it's colder, and very expensive. Just everything that is crazy. And I was genuinely shocked because I thought I was going to New York City. But it turns out there's more cows than people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it gave me a huge shock. And I thought I was running away. And then I ran to SUNY Oswego, another colder place, with the craziest wind in
Oh
my
yeah.
entire life that I experienced.
Hmm.
Were a wind that actually like slapped me in the face and trying to push me off the
Yes.
It's exactly what it does.
yeah. And sometimes it is incredible. Like
Mhm.
because I'm from Malaysia, right? There's nothing like that. There's only one consistent weather. None of us ever check our weather app.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, but our entire life I never checked it. Because I know what's the weather like. And After I left there, now I need to check, is it snowing? Is it springtime already? Is it fall already? Is it windy? Is it misty? Is it raining? It's just so many factors. Like I can't believe it.
Hmm. Do you want to go back to Malaysia?
Oh,
Like,
yes.
do you want to stay in the US, like live in the US, or do you want to go back to Malaysia?
Well, the funny part is both answer is yes. I do I do miss home. I do miss home Malaysia because it's been 3 years since I go back. But
Hmm.
at the same time, I truly, truly love SUNY Oswego. Oddly enough, it became my second home, even with such a huge difference in culture compared to home. But it's also because of that same reason I could be anything I want to be. And it's also the warm community that really shape you and really accepting of you. And like I mentioned just now, I was a very quiet person. I obviously don't seem very quiet now. And because it's also because of the community that allows me to break out of my bubble, step out of my comfort zone, and discover my dream being possible. I honestly never told my big dream for a long, long time because I never thought it was possible. It was also the age of 15 when I had the dream of being inspirational speaker. And I suddenly, when I came here, maybe part of me believed that it might be possible. And that's when I get to share about this. That's when I started my own podcast called Your Story Helps. That is when I have my first motivational session uh, last year and on my birthday. So yeah, it truly is an incredible journey because now I'm even organized a TEDx SUNY Oswego already. All the far-fetched dream that is bizarre, that is seems impossible at times. Even right now, it still seems impossible to me. But life is constantly showing me that it is possible. It's closer than ever. And it's crazy to say that sometimes it's kind of one decision away from the dream that you want.
What's next for you? You get your MBA degree in about a month from now. What's next for Eason Lee?
I know down the road I want to be an inspirational speaker, but before I get there, I want to learn. I want
Mm.
to seek opportunities. I want to embrace everything that I can before I get there. That's why I also have my podcast that is called Your Story Helps, right? Because I get to learn from others' stories and apply it as a lesson and perhaps helps people. And my immediate goal is that I want to stay in US for the longest I can be because I know I'm in the right environment where I can be anyone, where I'm there to dream. That alone is huge enough, huge enough. And that's why I want to stay in the United States. And first part of it, it's to stay in SUNY Oswego too, because it's truly SUNY Oswego the one place that changed me, transformed me even. And but then with that, in order for that to happen, is that the university is changing their rules to sponsor H-1B visa to staff members. It's a long conversation.
Mm.
Uh, I'm closer than ever, but still no solid result. But I will keep advocating for this and perhaps become the staff member that's sponsored by H-1B visa and get to continue my journey here, my lifelong journey of being a lifelong learner. And I hope it to be SUNY Oswego. But if not, I'll find a way to be in the United States.
Chris isn't here, but he normally asks this question, but I'll ask it for him. You mentioned that it's 180, right, between Oswego and Malaysia. The weather, the culture, the people, well, what about the food? He said, so
You got me. Chris asked the right question then. Ah,
So
I
what? Yeah, go
I
ahead. Like, what did you find out about food
yeah,
here?
I want to frame it in a nice way, but you know what? Let me just be direct. I hate the food here.
And that's okay.
That's perfectly okay.
And you know, the first thing I came here, hopefully my parents is not listening to this. The first thing I came here, the first thing that I missed wasn't my family, wasn't my friends, wasn't my home. It was food.
It's understandable.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I missed the first one. And uh that's when I tried to learn to cook a little bit too. And
Mm.
it's been joyful to cook a little bit and something you just have to learn. This sounds bad, but learn to put your expectation really low for food here. Uh, um, but there is some hidden gems. Okay, there is some hidden gems that you can find that surprise you, and then you just enjoy the beautiful food. It's like, wow, this is a beautiful day. There is those days, but they don't come often.
So what food do you like?
Actually, I can say I like Texas Roadhouse ribs. That is
Mm.
pretty good. They do serve pretty mean ribs. Yeah, and the Fuse is also another one that is also one of my favorite over here. It's pretty new. I'm not sure if you both have visited. Yeah, it's like a uh Japanese restaurant.
Hmm.
They serve sushi bowls, ramen, and something like that. And uh, funny enough, the the owner is from Myanmar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
Burma, and serving food from Japanese. But it's amazing, so can't complain.
So what's your food of choice from Malaysia? Like what's your favorite food?
Yeah, there's a few, but the one thing that I'm missing now is nasi lemak. It's ri coconut rice with a little bit of spice, with dried fish, half-boiled egg. It's amazing. Yeah, and funny enough, we eat it as breakfast. Something spicy for breakfast. But I love it. Love it. And other than that, there's a wonton mee, Hokkien mee. Yeah, because I speak five different languages, so they sound a little funny as English.
What other languages do you speak?
Yeah, including the dialects, I speak Mandarin, Cantonese, Hokkien, Malay, and English. Mhm. And this is also one of the fun struggle coming here because everyone speak English over here.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So you kind of need to practice so much that you get comfortable in speaking English. Uh, and now I sound pretty okay, I would say.
Hmm.
But I didn't start like this, you know.
Did you
And
know any English when you got here?
oh yeah, yeah. Malaysia is second or third most well-spoken English country in the Southeast Asia.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like a total stranger, but still the accent, the different of accent, the even the vocabulary, uh, like one simple vocabulary, right? We when we want to go to the bathroom, we say, "Hey, do you know where's the toilet?" Over here, this doesn't make sense. People will think that you're a little crazy. I remember the first time me arriving in the airport, I asked the person at the barista. I was like, "Hey, do you know where's the toilet?" She looked at me like, "Huh? What do you say?" Like, I'm like, "Toilet, I need to go pee." She's like, "You mean bathroom? Yeah, over there." So yeah, even in language like this, uh, it's just funny. It's a whole new thing to adapt.
Well, Eason, I know it's a 40-person team that really helped put all this together. So congratulations to you and to all of the people really who helped make TEDx a reality on SUNY Oswego's campus. And all the best to you in your aspirations, and I'm sure it's only going to be a matter of time before you become that inspirational speaker that you've been dreaming of. So,
Thank you for saying that. And
mhm,
before you close out too, I have to shout out the three sponsors. The first one is Division of Student Affairs, who fund us in totality.
mhm,
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but it's just truly amazing because we spend many thousands of dollars. Uh, and the ticket thing that we receive is nowhere close to covering the cost of the event. So
mhm,
really, truly thank you to the Division of Student Affairs. And the second one is Office of Admissions, which has
mhm,
been instrumental in terms of the logistic, in terms of advising, in terms of the warmth that they gave us. It's just awesome. And the third one is auxiliary services, because they have been supporting us from even before the event, even until after the event, and sponsoring us in terms of other fundings too. So yeah, truly another huge shout out to all three of our sponsors, the team departments that make today possible, and the nearly 40 team members that come together, united as one with a single purpose, because we all believe that ideas move people. Yeah, so hopefully we get to touch the world a little bit better and maybe elevate Oswego itself, specifically SUNY Oswego, to a global standard.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, and we thank everyone that was able to get to put this all together,
mhm.
and all those departments that were able to help out.
Thank you too. Thank you for having me. And shout out to Throwing Bagels. Tune in to the next episode.
And that was the organizer of the inaugural TEDxSUNY Oswego conference, also an MBA student set to graduate in just a few weeks, and host of the podcast Your Story Helps. It's a native of Malaysia, Eason Lee. That's a lot.
Okay, he's a very busy
very
person.
he's a very busy person, very motivated, and
Yeah,
he's
way more
got
motivated than I was when I was in college. That's for sure.
he is definitely he has his stuff together, and
Yeah,
I think the sky's the limit.
good for him, man.
Yeah,
Good for him. You know.
great conference. Uh, and stay tuned to the TED YouTube channel, because that whole conference is going to be on there at
Yep.
some point in the very near future. Um, and just a great event, and I'm so glad he did this. I'm so glad he stuck to it. He got rejected, he applied for it again.
Mhm.
They said yes, this works, and there you have it. So
Yeah, it's great that they were able to, that he was able to kind of reapply. Like he said, they didn't say I couldn't, so I
yeah.
did. So yeah, if they didn't say you can't, then why not go for it again? He fixed it up. He took whatever they said, and went back at it. So good for
Exactly.
him, man. That's great.
So it is mid-April, and so there's a lot of stuff going on in the world of sports. The Rangers are done.
Well, they're
Uh,
not done, but they're done.
they're done.
They're playing tonight. They're winning tonight,
They're done.
but they're done.
The first time ever in NHL history that the American pieces of the original six did not make the playoffs.
I saw that.
That's
Also,
nuts.
also, also the first time ever that Boston, Pittsburgh, and the Rangers all didn't make the playoffs at the same time. Or at least one of them wasn't in the playoffs.
Yeah. So we're talking what? We're talking Boston, New York, Chicago, and Detroit
Detroit.
all missed the playoffs. It's like the changing of the guard, I feel like.
Meanwhile, Montreal is about to get in, and
Yeah.
Toronto's already in.
So I think we're getting close, Jason, to having a Canadian Stanley Cup winner. It hasn't happened since
Hasn't
93.
I know it's crazy.
1993,
It's not going to
Jason.
happen this year. It's not going to happen this year.
Wow. So we know the Rangers aren't going to make the playoffs. We know the Knicks had a 50-win season. They're going to get bounced in the second round, probably.
Most likely.
Whatever. Most
Yeah,
likely.
most likely.
The Giants are going to mess up the draft in a week or two. So there's the Mets.
That's all we got right
Done with the
now.
Mets. That's all we
That's all we
got.
got.
And they're doing well. They're doing well.
Yeah.
And
And they're not even hitting that great yet, but they're
No.
still doing well. Pitching's been fantastic. They're
But-
hitting the ball when they need to.
Jason, we've been Mets fans for 30 plus years. We know what's going to happen. The hitting will pick
I
up,
know.
and that's exactly when the pitching will fall.
Believe it or not, it's been 40 years since I've been a Mets fan. I've been a Mets fan since 1984.
Okay,
It's been 40
can't.
years.
40 years. God bless you.
40 years.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
They were kind of in my peripheral vision when I was very young, like mid 80s. But really, for me, I started really following the Mets in the early 90s when I became a teenager, and that
Best
was
team
when
money
they
could
were,
buy.
oh, they were awful. They were so bad.
Throwing
was a-
bleach everywhere. Lighting
was a
fireworks in the
yeah.
locker room.
That was a character building
Oh,
moment for me.
That was a team right there. Oh boy.
Yeah, listen, Jeff Torborg managing and Bobby Bonilla, Eddie Murray, Vince Coleman, Brett Saberhagen, Pete Harnish, like these, just an era that I
Juan Samuel traded for Lenny Dykstra.
Oh, good Lord, terrible trade, terrible.
Just one of the many bad Mets trades over the years. Over the years.
But it's you know what? Now that the curse of the Wilpons has been lifted, now that we have an owner who cares.
Yeah, right. I hope so. Hope
Yeah.
it's gone forever. I don't want them anywhere near this team.
No, please stay away. All right, I think that'll do it for this edition of the Throwing Bagels podcast. You can follow us online, throwingbagels.com. That's where all our socials are.
All of it.
You can email us, throwingbagelspodcast@gmail.com. We do look at them and we do reply.
We do.
So send us a shout or at any of our socials.
Yep.
Say hi.
You can say hi to all of us.
We'll say hi back.
Yep. Sure will.
Until next time, Jason.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye.